Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday afternoon, May 13th. We are looking at Window Traders market profile of SPY IWM and QQQ. Interesting day, to say the least. I don't know the last time this happened, but we had an inside day in all three of our indices. All three of them. Now, again, I'm not sure if it happened in NQ or definitely in Righty. I shouldn't say definitely. I'm not sure if Righty would have held the day's low. But anyway, SPY IWM QQQ's inside days should make for real good opportunities tomorrow when we come out of it. SPY tried so hard late in the day to take out yesterday's high. They were the closest to taking it out late in the day. And then the buyers just gave up and flushed out. We do raise pocket at the end. We end 9 wide at L's low. I don't count N, so that's not going to be B. It's going to be L's low at 9 wide. We had overlap in a higher value. Russell was unchanged. QQQ's was overlapping a high. Again, I didn't do any trades in those two. Only in SPY, and I actually took an MES trade. We'll get to those in a second. QQQ's end 9 wide. Really, their only destinations are the high and the low and the 9 wide. Russell, they don't have anything to lean on except the day's high and low. Now remember, Russell had an inside month down. We got below it again today. We got above it. We got below it today by over $3. And look where we closed. Almost inside of it barely. So that has to get resolved, that inside month down. It has to. Either sellers better take control and keep it below that 215.24 level and start making a move to the downside, or we're going to go back to the other end of the balance, which is the monthly high, which I'll show you. Now, as far as us, I put myself in a world of hurt early, but battled it at a very, very visual level and came out okay on it. Now, I was expecting rotation today. I was expecting consolidation. I did not expect an open and drive that would literally rip this market up and take back the entire trend day before stopping, luckily, at B's high for me. So I was very surprised at that. I started, let me get my trades. I started when A ran up. I said, if we fill, I would look to take a put play, basically against filling those singles and to see if we just get above the lower distribution initially and come back in. Again, thankfully I started small, but I started shorting the 410s in A period that expired tomorrow, the 410 puts. And then obviously the rip continued into the other single prints. I was holding on to the 410s. They weren't that big. I went to 411s and got bigger on those. And then I got size. So I got big, really big, the 411s between D's high and A's low. And then we pushed up, went up to, got above the open and filled all the singles. I was getting hurt pretty bad because I had size of the 411. The 410s weren't that big, but they were still, I was getting crushed by them based on where we were trading as opposed to where I took them. And then B period stopped. Right? It couldn't get much more traction, and each time it tested B's high from yesterday, backed off. So finally, I started it back. When it went back up, bought 100 of the 412 puts. I was long at one point, 3 different strike prices, upwards of 400 total. Came in, took the 100 off, went back up, put it on, because I was getting hurt pretty bad on those other ones as they had gone up. I was out pretty decent amount, ended up making money. The risk reward was by no means acceptable, but I thought once we stopped in B, twice I took on that size 412 puts, which put me in good shape, and then I took them all off. Used up a lot of mental reserve on that trade. Now, then in D period, when we opened, we had singles. When we came down and filled the singles, I took a small long. I was like, as long as we hold C's low, it went up. It was just hanging in there. I made money on it, but small, because I wasn't liking the action. And then finally, D took out C's low. Didn't do much the rest of the day. I took a long in E with the MES. That was my, no, it wasn't. That was still a call play. I took the 408 calls. I was like, if we hold half back, I'll be okay. Didn't hold it, got out of it for a small loss. And then in H, when we went down, I took an MES play. Again, I took 10. I did a 5 lot, another 5. I was long 10. It got up to E's low, took 5 off. I made money, and then it went back down. It got back below where I was long. I got out of it. So basically scratched on that trade. And then the only other trade I did that made me money was in J. I was like, everybody expects to keep popping the top, but it's not happening just yet. I took a 35 lot short play, which paid off as it backed off before K went and started doing its thing. I didn't do anything in K, L, or M. So I had a good day. It was not the easiest day for me to read. I told the room that. Obviously, the hole I put myself in with that open and drive. It's one thing to have an open and drive, but we were inside the day's range. I'm like, are we going to take back all 3 of these single prints in literally an hour? Well, we did. I was fortunate enough. It stopped there, though. It shows you they ripped this market $5, $6 and then stopped on a dime and couldn't get any higher. We couldn't get the day's high. So it was fortunate it stopped where it did, and then gave me, when we saw the momentum stop, and gave me good confidence, even though we were one time framing up and it looked like we were going to have single prints, which we did, but it gave me confidence to take those plays because I thought it would back off a couple of times, and it did. So tomorrow's another day. I was pretty neutral throughout the day, but because we had some huge swings inside. I mean, we love volatility, we love volume, but I didn't like there was a lot of inconsistency. I mean, E, F, and G went up, and then H and I went down hard, and then J, K, and L go up, and M flushes. There wasn't a lot of consistency on the moves, so I stayed pretty neutral. Destinations for tomorrow. Well, we have 3 on the upside that I'm going to give you for right now. 410.82, L's low where we were 9 wide. 412.35, which was today's high, and then 412.59, which was yesterday's high. And then above that, so if we come out of the inside day to the upside, I would expect to go get this POC, which was 11 or 12 wide. It was 12 wide. I don't have it updated. This was a 12 wide POC. So if we get the inside day up, we should easily take out yesterday's low then. And then I think we should go get the 12 wide POC of 413.59. And then there's nothing to the daily high of 415.27. And then the huge gap of 417.81. 254 points. I do not think this gap gets filled the first time in it. I do not. Remains to be seen, but I do not. For the downside, we have the price probe. Even though we closed down here, I'm using C's high of 412.02. Then I'm using I as the afternoon pullback low of 407.84. And then yesterday's low of 404.79. And then the single prints, 404.78, get filled at 63 cents from April 5th. And then on the charts, so here's the week, right? Here's the weekly, just quickly. Here's the weekly. We battled in and out of last week's low, but that's not as important to me anymore. The bottom line is I am calling the weekly down for now. So the monthly's up, the weekly's down as far as I'm concerned. Okay? And now the daily is still, now daily, you can call it balance if you like. I'm calling it down because it's never stopped the one-time framing up. So if we take out today's high, we'll put us back into balance. If we take out today's low, and it's still down. But it is an inside day. So again, here's what I think. I think if we take out today's high, we'll go test possibly the 20-day moving average. But I don't think that gap's going to fill that easily. If we take out today's low, then I think we'll go test the 50-day moving average. So it remains to be seen which way we come out of the inside day. And the only other thing I want to show you quickly is Russell. We've come out of this inside month to the downside now 3 days in a row. And we're back inside of it. So if sellers plan on getting any traction to the downside, you have to get below it and get acceptance below it. If they do, they should easily see the 205, 207 level. But so far they have shown no ability. If they can't do that, then at some point we're going to see the other end of last month's high, which is 231 at some point. So I hope you had a good day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.